Welcome back to Junie B and Miss D. We're on chapter 8 of Junie B. Jones' Dumb Bunny. The egg hunt has officially begun. Junie B is flopping around in her big bunny suit. Can she do it? We're going to find out. Chapter 8, Swooping. The children ran. They ran everywhere, I tell you. They ran to and fro and up and down and back and forth and here and there. Also, Roger ran sideways. And Lenny ran in a circle. I watched them very fascinated. Some of the children were tackling and scuffling. Sheldon went through a shrub. That's when Lucille's daddy blew his whistle again. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Everyone come back here right now, he shouted, real mad. Everyone came back. Sheldon had a stick in his ear. He sputtered and stuttered and pointed at May. She pushed me. She pushed me. May pushed me through a bush. May stamped her foot. No, I did not, Sheldon. I did not push you. You pushed yourself. She turned around and looked at the daddy. It was the darndest thing you'd ever see, she said. He shoved himself right through that bush. The daddy stood there a real long time. Then he walked to the picnic bench and he sat down real slow. And he hit himself on the head. I went over and I tapped on him. I would like to just point out that the bunny did not run, I said. The bunny was the only one who walked. May overheard me. That's because the bunny can't run or the bunny falls down, she called. The bunny should not get credit for that. The daddy hit himself on the head again. I walked back to Herbert. He looked kind of worried. The daddy is coming unglued, he said. I nodded. Yes, I said. The daddy is going to need backup, I believe. Backup is the grown-up word for the police might need to come, possibly. And guess what? Me and Herb were not the only ones thinking that either. Because just then, Lucille's Nana hollered right out loud. Enough! She hollered. I have had enough of this nonsense with you children. Then she cupped her hands around her mouth and she shouted a brand new rule. It's called, if there is any more running or shouting, she is going to call the cops. All the children did a gulp. I looked at Herbert. That new rule seems a little harsh, I said. Only guess what else? The new rule worked, I think, because pretty soon the Nana started the egg hunt again, and this time no one ran at all. No one even walked hardly. Instead, we all behaved like little ladies and gentlemen, and we hunted for eggs very polite. May stuck to Sheldon like glue. I tried to stick to him too, but my giant feet could not keep up that good. May kept on grouching. You're not going to get that golden egg before I do, Sheldon. Even if you know where it is, I'll still beat you. I'm all over you like flies on an egg salad, she said. Sheldon rolled his eyes. But I don't know where the golden is, May, he said. I've already told you that. I don't know anything at all, he said. I cupped my mitts around my mouth. I believe you, Sheldon, I said. I believe you don't know anything at all, I shouted. I've never thought you've ever known anything at all. After that, I hurried to catch up with him, because I definitely thought he knew something, of course. Sheldon turned to wait for me. Then all of a sudden, he glanced at the ground. He did a loud gasp. I see one! I see one! I see one! He shouted. May and I turned to look. There was a bright green egg underneath a bush. Sheldon clapped and laughed, and he hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoop, scoop. May ducked underneath him speedy fast, and she picked it up instead. I got it! She screeched. Then she put the egg in her basket and danced all around. Sheldon's face got sputtery mad, but before he could even yell at her, he did another gasp. Oh, I see one! I see one! I see one! He shouted even louder than before. He clapped his hands. He laughed real happy. He hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoosh, scoop. May beat him to it again. Two! Now I have two! She hollered. She jumped up in the air and kicked her feet. I swooped. I'm a swooper. I swoop, she said. She ran back to Sheldon and leaned in his face. I knew I would beat you at this game, she said. Now I have 2 eggs, and you and Junie B have... She leaned her head into our baskets. Let's count them. 0! Ha! You have 0, and I have 2. 2 for me. 2 to 0. 2 to zippity zippity 0. Sheldon looked real upset. I frowned my eyes at him. Helpful hint, I said. Stop shouting. I see one. Sheldon pointed at his magic egg shirt. But I just don't get it, Junie B, he said. My grandpa said that the egg is with me. So why isn't this magic shirt working? Maybe it's not lucky, I said. Maybe it's just dirty. Sheldon slumped his shoulders. Then he reached down his finger and he flicked off the egg. Only wait till you hear this. Just as he flicked, his eyes got big and wide again. And this time I hurried over and I covered his mouth with my hand. But Sheldon shouted right through my paw mitt. I see one! I see one! I see one! He shouted. Then right before he could even move his feet, whoosh, swoop, scoop, May grabbed egg number 3. She twirled in a happy circle around us. 3 to 0, 3 to 0, it's 3 to 0, she yelled. Sheldon stood real still. Then very slowly, he put down his basket and he stretched out the sides of his mouth with his fingers. And he stuck his tongue out at May. That was appropriate behavior, I think. After that, he snatched up his basket again and he tried to rush away from May. But too bad for Sheldon, because May stayed exactly on his heels. They were walking too fast for me to catch up. I stopped and watched them go. And then I did a big sigh. Then I walked to a tree stump and I sat down real glum. I hate being this dumb bunny, I said, because my feet are too big and my legs are too slow and my paw mitts are too clumsy. I slumped my shoulders and I looked in the empty basket. I did another sigh. 'Cause let's face it, the bunny was a rotten egg.